Hello friends, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Karishma and today we have Ashutosh with us. He is a great trainer, English trainer. He has been teaching since long time. So today we have this session with Ashutosh. So welcome Ashutosh. Please introduce yourself.
The first, of course, I must say thank you so much for inviting me. And now I'm just moving forward with my introduction. As you told that my name is Ashutosh Dwivedi and I'm connecting to you from Kanpur city of Uttar Pradesh. When it comes to my education, I have done with my graduation, that is BCom Honors Accounting from BHU. Now I'm pursuing my master's degree, that is Masters of Arts in English Literature. And when it comes to like profession, as I have been training students for 2 years, so I do like training people. That's why I started training people. That's all about me.
And that's really nice, really nice. You're speaking very well, Ashutosh. I hope just I will learn a few things from you as well. I just want to speak like you.
Well, thank
Okay.
you so much. So kind of you.
So, would you like to share your journey with us that how did you started learning English and how did you reach here?
Yeah, exactly. Why not? It was a really interesting journey. If I'll just tell you that I was a kind of a studious boy in 12th or just after 12th as well. Then after I became the student of university like BHU, even though I wanted to do a study a lot there, but unfortunately, like very well, the COVID came and there was a COVID. So I just came back to my hometown, and after that I was staying there, and online classes were going on. But online classes were not that much interesting, like even though the professors and like lecturers were not taking in a that way like I wanted to. So if anybody is teaching like accounting through audio, like how you can learn it, like that was the case. So after that I started skipping classes. I was not interested anymore, and I thought of working on myself because I wanted to be a good speaker, and I was always afraid on going in a stage and speaking, as I was the student of Navodaya. But then also there I just I hadn't been on to stage for giving a speech or stuff like that. So after that, I started working on myself. I thought of improving my communication skills. And from the day of 29th of April 2020, I started working on it. I started practicing English. So this was a great journey. I have just it has been more than 2 years. I'm about to complete 2.5 years now. So that is all about my journey. But if you will ask specific questions towards it, of course, I would love to give answer.
Yes, I really wanted to know that how did you like this much perfection only in 2 years? I cannot imagine because I have been learning this language just from last 1 year and still I'm not really fluent. I did a lot of grammar lot of mistake, and my subscriber used to come to my comment box and they correct me always. But as I can see you, you are like very fluent within 2 years. I cannot, imagine. It's not, believable. So what are the things you did? Like what are the ways you choose to improve your language? What are the modes of learning actually? I want to know. So please share it.
Yeah, of course. Of course, as I told you, the date that 29th of April 2020, that
Yes,
was the first day I started from there. And from the first day only, like I started talking to the people on Buddy Talk. In those days, there
but
was an application, Buddy Talk. I
yes.
started talking to them, and I was so crazy. You wouldn't believe I used to talk 5 to 6 hours, 6
Oh,
hour speaking practice. I was not into grammar. I wasn't reading rules and regulations and grammar and stuff. Rather than doing that stuff, I used to speak for 6 hours and 7 hours. Maybe like if I'll tell you the fact that there was a month, November 2020. In that single month, I have done conversation 221 hours
oh my God.
on an
Unbelievable.
average 7 hours per day. You can say that. I thought of working on myself, and I just I was giving instructions to my mind that I'm working for someone 7 hours and 8 hours. If the people they can do a job for 8 hours, why can't I work on myself? The people they don't have this kind of intention. Always they are ready to work for someone for 12 hours and 14 hours. But if you will say to them to work on themselves for 4 hours, 2 hours, oh, so difficult. They are not self-disciplined in that way. But for me, it was really fantastic because I was bored of COVID. I was listening always like the people they are dying, the people like COVID is increasing day by day. So that was really terrible. Of course, it was a pathetic situation in the country. But I thought of working on something. So if I will be able to survive in this world, I will always remember that, of course, I have done something great in COVID 19. So I started practicing 5 to 6 hours per day. I used to listen great people a lot. Like I started listening to like Sadhguru, Gaur Gopal Das, Priyanka Chopra, the great people, and they were always giving me motivation. You know, every day is not same on social media because sometimes you will go and connect with some stranger, and maybe from the morning anybody is going to abuse you, and you are going to be upset for that. So it used to happen with me. But what I used to do, I used to watch the video of Gaur Gopal Das, and again I was just I wanted to regain my confidence and motivation, and again I wanted to do practice. That's what I have done, and consistently I'm doing it. I have completed more than I think 10,000 conversations one on one over the
Oh,
calls and over and other applications.
okay.
So due to this kind of stuff, maybe I'm able to improve from another people. If I must compare, there are some people, they are always asking, sir, how many hours I should practice, 20 minutes, or they're asking for minutes, not for hours. Like they're always curious to know that how many minutes they can do practice and they can become like an American. So it's not going to happen. You will have to just you will have to do work hard. It is all about your efforts. If you are like, I will give you an example. There are two people. There is one is A and second one is B. Okay, and A is giving 5 hours per day for that language, and B is giving 20 minutes. Then of course the answer is quite simple, that who's gonna win? A, right? So, but the people, they want to know the time, that in how many minutes they can be fluent. If they will talk 10 minutes per day, then they are going to be an American. I don't really think so. It is all about deep diving into that language. If you will go beyond that time, and you will start enjoying that process, then it's going to be a fantastic journey for you. So that's what I learned from this journey. And yeah.
You're absolutely right, Ashutosh. You won't believe that you start talking on Buddy Talk application and you used to talk a lot on that. Similarly, I choose the platform, the application is Fluency, and I used to talk a lot on that application daily. So this is what
Hmm.
helped me to speak a little bit because I'm from Hindi background. I did not know
Hmm.
even basic English actually. If I talk about
Hmm.
a year ago, I could not speak few like not even single line completely. So now I feel
Hmm.
that I am improving good way, and this is only because of that application because I used to talk with a lot of people. Second thing you said that
Hmm.
Sadhguru, I also started listening Sadhguru few months back, and I set a target in my mind that I have to finish 10 videos today of Sadhguru because I love watching his
Oh my
videos.
God.
This is kind of target I give to myself so that I will force to achieve them. This is the
Hmm.
things which I did in my past, and this is how even now practically, how to say this, uh, to be
You will
honest,
have to be
today, to be
consistent enough, of
honest,
course. Hmm.
today I am not that consistent just because of the YouTube and many other things going in my life because I have
Hmm.
many things to do at the same time. So now I'm not getting time to listen Sadhguru videos, but yes, I used to listen a motivational speech on daily basis. This is my fixed habit, you can say. I developed this habit in order to learn English language actually. And I think if
Hmm.
I'll do this practice regularly, that one day after a year or two, I'll be perfect. I may be like you within a few years.
Yeah,
My
why
problem is
not?
only with the grammar actually, not much. It's all about grammar. I did a lot of grammar mistake during my conversation, and also my vocabulary is not strong. I used very basic words, which are actually necessary to communicate. So yeah, I think we two are great example for the people who are watching us because they always ask me that, ma'am, how can we improve? How can we improve? So I tell them that this is all depend upon your dedication. The dedication, the
Hmm.
obsessions, how much you are obsessed to learn English, then only a person can learn this language. Yeah, so you are absolutely true. And now you want to ask something, you can ask.
Yeah, exactly. As you told me that you were also listening to Sadhguru and you were doing that stuff. So how long it has been, like it you have completed your 1 year, right?
Yeah, it's
In this
more than one
journey.
year. It's more than one year. I do not remember the date like you, but yes, it's been more than one year. I have been practicing. I'm still on my learning way, and but I was like very weak in my English. I get only like 35 or 40 marks in my school. I never achieved good grade in my English language. Otherwise, I was a good student. I was the second topper of my college. I studied from Deshbandhu College, Delhi University, and I was the second topper.
Hmm.
But the lacking point was English always. N- uh,
Yeah, of
I'm not
course.
even
I
with
can
my
understand you.
writing.
Nowadays, even though if you are studying in a good school, that is not going to make sense that you are going to be a good and fluent speaker in English.
Yeah, yeah,
Nowadays, it can be possible because nowadays, as I have seen your son, of course, he is the only like 3 to 4 years old, and now you can see like what is the change. Now, still you are struggling to speak that language, and he is able to speak that in 3 to 4 years. So
yeah.
that's what the change in education system. Now we are able to find out good schools where if you are not going to speak English, you are going to pay fine for that, right?
Yes,
But
yes,
it
yes.
was not the case in our school or in our times.
Right.
Like everybody, even though the teachers they were talking in Hindi, so why the students they will talk in English?
You're right. You're right.
So that's what I can understand your problem, and this is a very common problem of Indian people because, and of course, I don't feel bad about it. I feel proud about it because we born in India, and this is not our first language. I know two, they know one. Okay, they are only knowing English. The people from the states, people from United Kingdom, but we
Right.
are, of course, we are just already we know Hindi, and after that we are working towards the English. And some people in India they know three or four,
Yes.
their first
I
language
know.
is Bengali, second
I know
language they know
Bengali also. Yeah.
Hindi. Yeah, that's great. So we are far far better than them. We are having the method how to learn language because for them they only learned by the environment. They don't have idea how to struggle for a second language. The
Right.
people who are learning the second language in United States they can understand our pain, right?
Yes.
Because
Right.
learning a second language is not that much easy. As in India, of course, I am happy that we are in India because we know how to write and read this language from our childhood at least. In some country the people they don't really know like how to write English as well and how to read English as well. For them it is nothing to kind of impossible thing for them to think, to speak, or just to write about it. So at least we know alphabets, we know writing, reading and stuff, but only the problem is just that we are not practicing. We are thinking that by reading the rules and regulations of the grammar, by doing the exercises of grammar, we are going to be an expert. I don't really think so. So the natural method of learning is just by just grasping that language, by observing that language, and by listening the content from the real conversations. That can be really helpful for a person who would like to be
I
better in
have
this
one more
language.
question for you. Actually, I just wanted to know that reading is really important in your learning spoken English.
In spoken English, like if I talk about myself, I just I have gone through the three things a lot. First thing is listening, second thing is watching, and the third thing is speaking. And I was just following like 80-20. 20% I was giving for like listening and watching, 80% for the practice. Like I was giving, like if I was giving 1 hour for learning something through watching and listening, I was giving 4 hours for practice. In the beginning you need practice because we already know how to read and write. We are okay with that. It means like in English we don't speaking, of course we are not able to speak in a single sentence, but at least we are better in reading and writing. We can write a paragraph, right? So we should work more on what? Speaking, rather
Speaking.
than working on reading always. Of course, when you will get the level of both of the things like speaking, reading, writing, then after you can go forward with the reading, speaking, and continuously. Then there is no need to speak that much like 5 hours or 6 hours and 7 hours. Then after, if you will do practice for 30 minutes and 1 hour, of course it's more than enough. But reading is important for what? For getting knowledge, because communication goes parallel with your knowledge. Because if you want to talk about some topics, how will you talk about it if you
You
don't have
don't.
the knowledge about it, right?
Right.
So
Absolutely
that is
right.
very important. If you are getting a label, then you become a good communicator and at least you can express yourself. Then go forward and try to just deep dive into reading. Go just forward and listen to the good people and read the stuff from the good writers. So it is going to enhance your knowledge and you're going to present yourself in the in a best way. Reading is important, but which reading is important for the speaking is speak out loud. Whenever you are reading, take a paragraph, take a page, and try to read it louder. So your jaws and this kind of tongue is going to be kind of fit and kind of habitual of that language. And your ears will listen you, so you will be habitual with those words. So you will not stuck while speaking to someone because those are going to be fit in your tongue. We do practice tongue twister for what? For
Yes.
pronunciation and for fluency like that.
Right. See, actually, from my point of view, the reading is not really important while spoken English. If I talk about spoken, I think speaking practice and listening practice, these two things are really important while you're learning spoken English. But whenever I go and watch videos on YouTube, any native speaker, they always suggest me that reading, 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 reading is must. Without reading, you cannot be a fluent. Without reading, you cannot learn the vocabulary. So, actually, I am taking few sessions from the very basic person. They cannot speak fluent English, but they are on their basic level. So they always ask me, ma'am, is it, compulsory to reading? Because I don't love reading. I feel bored. I just get sleep while reading. So is it important? Sometimes I got confused too, because I learned this language without reading. To be frank, I never read anything, not even a single book while learning English. I learn it through speaking and listening. The more of listening and less of speaking, because we obviously I do not have this environment of English language. So I just used to talk 25 minutes on ACE Fluency application. That is on daily basis, and whenever I get chance to speak customer care or anywhere, like I used to start talking in English just for my practice. I never leave any chance of speaking English. Whenever I get chance, I just utilize it. So this is how I have learned this language. But my even my subscribers asking me the same thing, because they also watch many videos other than me, obviously. So they come to know that reading is really important part of this whole journey. So still I'm not sure whether it is important or not.
So, of course, it depends on a person to person, right? Of course, audiobooks are available. Nowadays, the people, they are not having that much time to just read the books. So they are going through the audiobooks. So just, learning something, even though by listening is very important, even though by listening to someone, you can get it. What is the audiobook? Audiobook is only just they are converting that book from to like an audio, and you can listen it and you are going to get the same thing from it. It depends on you, like how you are learning. If there is a person like who is a kind of blind, then how they are getting everything in this world? By listening, right? By only listening. So that depends on a person to person. Reading is important. I told you in that way, when you are getting your level of speaking, once you started expressing yourself, then you will go deep dive into that for becoming an equivalent speaker, for becoming a kind of different from others, right? Then you need that, right? That kind of books are really, very well, you will listen from every motivational speaker that books are very important, because once you will have, like, the way of expressing the better communication, then you need good facts from the books, good writers. When you will just include those stuff, it is not going to be general stuff, it is going to be more specific. You are taking the name of any writer. If I will take like Burn, The Law of Secret, the, like, Wings of Fire, written by APJ, so the people, they are going to be, like, influenced a bit, like that. Yeah, he knows about APJ, he knows about Vivekananda, he knows about that. So that is the thing. But I told you the formula of 2080. In the beginning, try to practice. If you are practicing 4 hours speaking, just do listen and watch for 1 hour only. But try to speak 4 hours, because you haven't been doing that part from your childhood, right? But you have been doing reading, writing, and, like, at least little bit listening from the teachers. But reading, writing, both two things you have been doing if you have been the part of Indian education, right? So now it is time to work on speaking a lot rather than working on the same thing. Once you will, I'm just trying to make understand to the watchers, understand that the phase. Once you will get into, like, intermediate, after that you can go forward. But when you are in beginner level, you need speaking more rather than just reading
It's
stuff.
the same, I think, yeah. I also think in the same way. Okay, so yeah, I want one more thing from you, that I just want you to tell the audience that you also have a YouTube channel and you also provide the sessions. You can give your session details, because many of my subscribers coming to me and asking me about the classes, online classes, which I'm not providing actually. I'm not even perfect, so how can I supposed to provide these kinds of classes? So you can tell to the audience that what kind of classes you're providing. So if they want, they can also, avail these classes.
Yeah, exactly. Of course, if I would like to tell the watchers, so I'm providing online classes to the people. So, and even though I'm running a YouTube channel as well, it has been more than a year. I have running a YouTube channel. So my YouTube channel name is Ashu Official 2021. So if you are interested and if you would like to have the sessions from me, of course, if you will come on my YouTube channel, my WhatsApp number is available over there. So the people, they can come over there and directly they can contact me and they can text me if they want to have a session. It's gonna be really easy for them. Yes. So
So are you providing one-on-one session, or like it's a combined class for a group of people, like
both, like,
both? You have both the
mhm.
options. Okay, it depends
Hmm.
upon the charges. Like you have different charges for both
Yeah,
type of
exactly. Of
admission.
course, for the personal training, of course, always it is gonna like be more than that group classes.
Okay, okay, nice, 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 nice. Okay, so I'm going to end this video here, and it's
Yeah, of
really,
course.
really nice talking to you. I've learned a very good things from you, and your perspective about spoken English is all same like me, and I love that. And I just want you to connect again in future if my audience demand. And thank you so much for being here with me and recording this session. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you so much. Many, many thanks to you. Bye bye. Take care.
Bye.
See you
Yeah,
soon.
yeah.